The Pioneer rear projection in front of us is actually rather small by rear projection standards. It's 40 inches in size, making it slightly bigger than the direct view TVs of the time, which probably maxed out around 37 inches or so. It's quite unusual that it's a benchtop model. It doesn't have a base. It doesn't have a built-in base that makes it freestanding on the floor. This one actually goes on top of an entertainment unit or a table or whatever it is. So it's very different, and it also has two SCARTs and will enable RGB display into it. So it's got quite a few unusual features, and most importantly, it's got the RGB, which I'm really interested about. Let's have a further look at it. You get an idea on the size with this side view. There's instructions printed on both sides of the TV on how to carry it. There's a little duct to put your hand in, just here. It's only about 3 fingers wide though. It's not really much to hold onto it. You can't get 4 fingers, especially if you've got big fingers. It says not to carry it by the front Fresnel screen. That'll probably slip off if you do. Don't pinch your fingers underneath, just common sense stuff with that one. Surprisingly, the TV only weighs 54 kilos. If this was a direct view CRT, it'd be well over 100. It came out in 1994, 1995. You can see that in the catalogue. The optional stand for this model. You can see it on the bench there. And then there's a couple other models I'll mention while we're here. There's the 50-inch rear projection on a cabinet. And you can also get the 40 in a cabinet as well, but the specs are a little bit different for it. Look at the back view of this behemoth. All those exciting inputs straight to the SCART, 2 SCARTs, AV1 and AV2 Euro, several composites in, a composite out, S-video in. You can even plug some external speakers in. So it's got all the connections of the time, especially being important, the Scart RGB. Pioneer, made in Japan, not multi-volty, 220 to 240 volts. What's really thrown a curveball at me is the manufacturing date of December 1999. So I've just said this thing's made 94, 95, according to the catalogue I've got. This model here is slightly different from the catalogue model. It's got /WL on the end of it, so it could be a further revision, but it does surprise me a lot that this is 1999. You'd start to be getting into the territory with component input. We'd be soon getting into the silver and grey cases, so a bit of a remnant of the older technology, but I don't mind that because this thing's probably going to be non-100 Hertz. And there's the figure 8 inlet, again 220 to 240, so not multi-volty. I do see some security screws, like that one there is a Torx by the look of it, and more Torx screws again, but Phillips head for the regular screws for the backing shell, I would say, and we'll have to go inside to have a look at it. Matching remote is the Pioneer CU-SD-079. Fairly big sort of remote, also can be used on Pioneer Laserdisc and VCR as a toggle switch to slide between those. Takes 2 AA's. I acquired the Pioneer rear projection off a former Pioneer employee of Australia. He said that this cabinet in front of us was actually commissioned by Pioneer Australia for this particular television. For whatever reason, they didn't like Pioneer Japan, Pioneer's proper original stand, and opted for this one instead. So it's made of hardwood. It's quite heavy. It's got a little opening, you can see, just there. So that's for infrared transmission from your remote to, say, go to your Pioneer amplifier that could be housed inside. It's got a couple of shelves, and those shelves are adjustable up and down to where you want to put them, and there's holes in the back for your cables and everything like that. So this is an alternative that Pioneer sanctioned for the Australian market. So sort of a semi-quasi-official cabinet by all means. Cost about $1,000, and it was built in Melbourne by a furniture company. I've taken the first piece off, the metal grating on the back, to reveal the inner contents some more, and it's quite cool. It actually has some sliding modules like this input-output board with the SCARTs. This big unit here is sort of on a rail, and it slides out like such. And even the next board, another board there, it can do the same. It's got cables in the way, but it has the ability to go in and out. And I suspect that this part of the chassis here that I'm touching, it's held in by a screw on each side. This will rotate down when I release those screws. Big flyback down there. And focus and screen voltage for the 3 tubes inside. I don't know what brand the tubes actually are. They are made in the USA. We'll probably be able to see those better once I rotate this pivoting section down. That board is now pivoted down. We can get a little bit more access to the tubes, to the neck boards in particular. Middle tube's green, that one's red, and the left one's blue. They are 18 centimeters in size, and I'll put in the description, if I'm mindful of it, the actual tube type, the number. I can't see the brand, made in USA as I said before. I'm a little curious as to this Pioneer panel. Looks like it can come out as well. Wow, look at this. With that panel off, you've actually got access inside to the 3 lenses that sit atop the 3 CRT. So I imagine this is a area from where you could clean those lenses. You've got fairly good access to them. So that's something different. I've never seen that on a rear projection television before. If you want to get the front of the TV disassembled, the speaker grill just pulls off. That's in front of us right now. Then the Fresnel lens comes next. There it is. It's probably got a couple of layers in there, plastic and the actual Fresnel lens. They're all pretty similar. So there we are, we're in the inside of the beast. You've got to realise that there's a mirror, so there's no mirror in front of us here on this angle. There's the 3 lenses that sit atop the CRTs. Then they shoot the picture into the mirror. You're looking into the mirror, their trapezoid mirror, and it bounces off the mirror out to us directly at us into the Fresnel lens to converge on that point and create the image. The mirror would be held by those Torx screws on the back that you saw earlier. That's what I suspect there. With the speaker grill off, we can see the speakers inside. There's 2 on the left side, 2 on the right side. I've seen in the comments, I've heard the voices that there are people out there that are right into the speaker side of things, and very interested to see what sort of speakers inside some of these obscure televisions that I get. So I'm going to concentrate a bit more on the speakers. I wouldn't normally dismount them, but I might just pull them out to see if we can get any brands and model numbers and things. I didn't show this earlier, but that is the control panel. Push that flap to get inside. So this is all accessible with the Fresnel lens and the speaker grill on, of course. It's all the standard stuff, channel up and down and volume up and down. Another AV input with the S-Video, quite a lot. Now, the most interesting thing is dead center of screen is a little hole where I'm pointing. That's actually a service mode hole. There's a switch in there. If you push that with a pin or something, that'll get you into the service menu, and we'll have a look at that when we get to it. Here's the speaker pawn. No surprise that we have a Pioneer D65AP45/56L, 16 ohm, made in Taiwan. No surprise it's Pioneer, big car audio specialists that they are. Now this speaker, I'll just get it on the best angle I can. That's Pioneer as well. It's got its symbol and model number there, so there's your speakers. You can also see that air duct there. You're not meant to lift the TV by that air duct. Don't put your hand in there. And it goes through into there. Look at that. I've been working hard on getting this convergence right. So this is the service menu that we're in, adjusting convergence. There is a basic convergence adjustment in the regular menu, but it's far, far, far inferior for what you can actually do here in the service menu by comparison. Blues out a fair bit, but to give you an idea on how this operates, it's a bit tricky because there's not a nice menu system. It's like the remotes buttons are divided into different categories and fairly confusing, but this convergence, right, so static convergence, then you've got your blue, this is just for the blue tube, horizontal and vertical, and of course you've got your red horizontal and your red vertical, and no greens there. Then you've got size, and again you've got blue horizontal, blue vertical, red horizontal, red vertical, green horizontal, green vertical. And this goes on, so you've got static, size, linearity, skew, key, sub-key, bow, pin cushion and sub-pin cushion, 9 categories, each with red, green and blue, and those with each horizontal and vertical adjustments. So you can see there's an enormous amount of adjustments potentially. I've just been concentrating on blue because it's the one that's out the most, but you can actually turn off the red and the green and the blue and turn them on in any order you want. So there's just blue, and you can see it's quite wonky up in the top left corner. And then we can go just green, a little bit wonky up in the top left as well. And then just red. You can add yellow, or add green to make yellow, take green away, and then you just add blue when we make purple. It does help in the tuning of these things. Now I'm hoping this is going to just save here, and then we'll actually have a look at some console stuff. I will say the sound system is quite good on the TV. No trouble getting sound out of it. I could tweak things a bit more with the screen voltages on each tube, the focuses on each tube. The list goes on and on, but I'm just going to settle with a bit of content now.
Generation. Round 1, fight. We're back. It's Crazy Taxi 2.
Sega Saturn NTSC hooked up via RGB, Virtua Cop 2 light gun test for the TV. Very appropriate. You would have seen Virtua Cop 2 in big arcade centres on rear projection systems. Probably even bigger than this at 50 inches. A little bit of a miss then. I've dabbled with this a bit. I've calibrated the gun a few times and sat in different positions. It does take a little bit of trial and error to get right into a nice sweet spot where shots will register every time. Probably 90% of the way at the moment. We'll see how I go when I shoot these targets up high shortly. That'll test things. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, not bad. So it's shooting fairly well. I would love to see this television at its full capability. You've seen that it is misconverged, and it's hard for the TV to compete in light-filled areas. Like, you've got to have your area pretty dark for this thing to stand out at all. You need a fair bit of room to set it up in your house. I mean, it's not going to take precedence over a direct view CRT, but it is quite a nice novelty to have. I'm kind of having second thoughts of actually getting rid of this one because it's just so unusual. So I think I will have to hang on to it. Just so uncommon and unusual that I'll keep it, but really needs to be calibrated to get its full effect. So an unusual specimen, and I'm glad it's worked for the whole duration of the video, and we've got to experience it fairly well. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. And I'm always up for these oddities, so thank you for watching and see you again next time.